Good evening, everyone. Welcome this evening to Jackson Systems and exciting new products from our partner at Honeywell. Off to my left here is the Mr. Beautiful Tom Giorgio. For those of you that have not met Mr. Giorgio, he is our sales rep from Honeywell. Most of you probably have met Gary Crosby. He's the contractor cohort to Tom. Tom calls on wholesalers and Gary calls on contractors. And tonight we're going to walk you through all the incredibly cool new Honeywell product, including the new Prestige, the new VisionPRO, and talk to you a lot about the internet connectivity that we're now able to offer through RedLink or the Wi-Fi. A couple of housekeeping things. Plenty of food in the back to help yourself to drinks in the refrigerator. At the end of the evening, this was a unique class in that we actually charge for this because you're going to be, each company will walk out with one of these grow kits that includes about $800 in Honeywell product, including, I don't even know what's all that's in there, but a lot of cool stuff for you to install and try out or use in your sales presentations. In your packet, there should be some additional literature in there talking about all the new Honeywell product, along with the business card. Our world famous, brand new, hot off the press banner pin. So if Mr. Giorgio gets boring this evening, you can start playing with this instead of listening to him. And a screwdriver and a calendar and all that good stuff. And what else am I missing? We always encourage asking questions, because what do we give out when we ask questions here?
Popcorn.
Popcorn. No T-shirts tonight. Good question. But we've got plenty of popcorn to hand out this evening and Girl Scout cookies. So make sure you ask good questions. And not only will you walk out with Honeywell product, you'll walk out with some food to take home, and you can show it to your wives and say, "Well, I gave up an evening, honey, but here's some great popcorn for you, or some cookies." So anyway, without any further ado, I'll turn it over to Mr. Giorgio.
My phone's off.
Tom's phone is off. Everyone else leave yours on in case Tom gets a call. We can get a hold of him.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All righty. Thank you, Tom.
There you go. We're just new product. I thought we were having a class on zoning against Jackson Systems.
Yes, we will finish the evening talking about Jackson Systems zoning.
Yeah, there we go. Everybody else is coming in. Here they all come. Come on in. Boy, it's a good thing you guys ate first. The big eaters just came in.
Ready.
All right, as Tom said, I'm Tom Giorgio. I'm with Honeywell. Oh, Lordy, I've been here since 1979. Long time. All right? So we're going to cover specific things in Honeywell, but if you got questions on Honeywell, throw it up here and we'll go to town. The essence of this class is the world of wireless. We are trying to get you focused on wireless through Z-Way, Wi-Fi, and RedLink. We want to stay connected. Internet connected thermostats and home comfort systems. That's what we're going to talk about tonight, okay? The internet and home comfort, and how to get more business. Now, some of you out there, I can tell by your looks and your gray hair, you had stereo systems like I did when you came back from the Army. Wires all over the place, right? Well, wireless has evolved. Now, last weekend, my wife sat down there, she took whatever this iPod thing was, put it in a cradle, and the Bose speakers in the four corners of the room sounded perfect. No wires. Well, I was tripping over wires with speakers that tall. We got wireless speakers this short, right? Everybody have systems like that today? Right? They all have those systems. Still listen to Jimi Hendrix and Joan Baez and Peter, Paul, and Mary, but, oh, I'm sorry, there's others. Prince, how's that, right? Wireless changes the way we live. If you take a look at some of the things that are wireless out there, you got the telephone, the TV, the keys, and the Wii Fit. Let's think about the telephone. Remember the good old days, some of you? You never thought of this. You never even knew this happened. It's when you were at the kitchen table and the phone rang, and you picked up the receiver and you walked around the side of the door and closed the door because it was for you, and you said, "Yeah, Bill, I got the beer for tonight." Right? And you didn't want anybody to hear, and then you heard the click on the extension line, and that was your mother listening in. How many people ever had that happen to them? You didn't. Now, everybody has their own dang phone. They go into their own room and listen and talk, right? The next thing is TV. If you watch the NCAA tournament, right there's a husband and wife with a big flat screen TV. They're saying, boy, that looks great. And the wife says, look at all those wires hanging down there. And all of a sudden this genie appears and poof, no more wires. Anybody see that ad during the tournament? What about the ad where the 14-year-old is out and the 7 and 8-year-old are playing basketball and they go, boy, in my day, we had to sit in the den to watch TV. We couldn't sit out here in the garage and watch it. Anybody see that ad? How about where she's chasing the little kids all around the house and they're watching TV? In my day, she's only 14. What are you talking about? Your day. My first TV was that big, black and white. Right? That was our day, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. He doesn't know anything about that. No. His is a flat screen all the way across the board, right? So, there's the televisions. Car keys. I'll guarantee you, when I come up to Indianapolis and it's 20 degrees and I'm at the Hampton Inn, I stand at my window and I go beep, beep, beep. And when I get downstairs, my car's warm. Because I started it from the 4th floor. And the ice is off the windows. How many people have that type of technology out there? Sure you do. Wireless. Right? We Fit. As you notice, I don't do that. The We Fit. Have you ever played the Wii game? You can bow on a Wii game. Archery on the Wii game. You can do surfboarding, skiing. You can do Wii Dance. And all you do is move this little thing here, right? It's all wireless. And they see you. And if you really want to get that to it, you can do yoga and get in shape the whole 9 yards. And it's all off of wireless signals. And then the next thing that we got is the phone. The iPad, the Android. The 2 stories I tell about this, I was up at the Cheesecake Factory just 2 weeks ago. 2 ladies sitting next to us, they were talking pretty intense, looking at the menu. One of them whips out her phone and starts typing on it. And I'm going, man, this is rude. This lady's talking to you and you're going in here and doing this? And then she says, oh, that ingredient has this, this, and this in it. She Googled the ingredients of what was in what the lady wanted to buy for lunch to tell her what it was. Go figure, right? Another story, at 5th Avenue, returning something for the wife. The lady had a blouse, nice and neat here. She is taking a picture with her iPad. I said, let me guess, you got a preferred customer list. I sure do. I said, you're going to send them that picture. She said, yes, I am. I said, she said, not only that, I'm going to tell them it's 20% off. I got it on their size, and would they like me to hold it for them? I'm going, man, that's marketing 101. What more could you ask for? All wireless, right? Another scenario I had, I was in Chinatown, New York with the family. In New York City, Chinatown, everything's in Chinese. There's no English there. We're looking for a restaurant. I can't find it. All 3 kids. Take a left this way, Dad, to the block. Take a right, 2 rights, and you'll be there. I'd still be in Chinatown starving to death in New York City, but they found where to go. All done wirelessly. What I'm trying to point out to you today, the people today understand wireless. They understand that technology, and they use that technology on a daily, if not an hourly basis. Would anybody disagree with that statement? They got it. They do it. So, why shouldn't home comfort be controlled any different? Why are we the oddball out? Take a look at relocating a thermostat. Not that anybody in this room had somebody say, can you move that thermostat? I don't like where the thermostat is. Can you please move that thermostat, right? Then you go stringing wires and whatever. Why don't you just go wireless? Put the stat in any room you want. Put a receiver lead on the furnace. Right? And there you go. It's multi-stage. Everybody a few years back had 1 heat, 1 cool. Now all of a sudden we're selling 2-stage heat, 2-stage cools. We're selling dual fuel geothermals. We're selling all this upgrade stuff that needs a bunch of wires, right? You only got 4. And here you are stringing wires. Why don't you just put in a 3 heat, 2 cool wireless thermostat that runs a geothermal, runs a dual fuel, runs 2 heat, 2 cool, and go wireless and run no wire. It's there. And of course, if you have a heat pump, you need a changeover, right? So go with a wireless outdoor sensor. You guys are still dragging 2 wires out, and then you're wondering whether where you put the outdoor air temperature is really the right place to put it, right? Uh-huh. Why don't you just go wireless? Put it where it's supposed to be. I had a guy in a class one time says, what if you put it in the wrong place? It's 2 screws. Take it off, move it. It's wireless. Now when you start thinking wireless though, think about your labor. All of a sudden your labor cost to put that wire outside is not there anymore. The cost of material is not there anymore. So if you bid the same price as you would if you wired the system, will you make more money? And that's what it's about, right? Making money. The next thing you have is on-demand comfort control. We got a controller you can take in any room in the house and get the temperature there. The next thing we have is zoning, retrofit zoning. I'm going to tell you a little story about this. There is a guy in Chicago who has this picture painted on the side of his truck. And he has another temperature here. So he has 3 different areas that has different temperatures. And the side of the truck it says, if this is your house, call me. I have the solution. He puts in 100 retrofit zoning systems a year. He's driving down the Eisenhower and somebody next to him is calling him going, that's my house. What can you do for me? Think about it. So here you are, you got uncomfortableness, and what you can do, you can hardwire another stat in, or you can go wireless and use the existing thermostat, or you can go up to 4 depending on the panel and have a 4-zone house now, all wireless, and give the person comfort. Solve the person's needs. That's what we're there for, solving their needs. Got it? That's what it's all about. Still internet-connected systems, what it means for you. When you take a look at what you sell, you got equipment and accessories. Where do you make the most money? On the equipment or on the accessories? Accessories. You bet your bottom dollar you do. You sell a humidifier?
Just like the car dealer.
Just like the car dealer. Now, see, we're old enough that we had to ask for stereo.
Right.
Right? He's looking for his Bose system installed into his car already, right? We had to say, is that an AM or FM stereo? Right? We had to ask for the stereo. We had to ask for cruise control. Remember that when you had to ask for cruise control? Do you get a car without cruise control anymore? It's almost standard nowadays, right? But the thing is, where you make your money is selling a humidifier, selling a fresh air ventilator, selling a dehumidifier, selling zoning, selling, gee, would you like to see the temperature of the outdoors on your thermostat? Something that simple. It's an accessory where you make money. Referrals are typically higher on systems with accessories than heating and cooling alone. They expect to get hot air and cold air. That's what they paid you for. It's the accessories that they talk to one another about. Now, when us guys get together, we talk about, gee, you think the Pacers are going to take it to the 5th game and win? That's what we talk about. Or we talk about carb day. Or we talk about who won the 500. Or who's what baseball team. The ladies do not do this. They could care less about carb day, and they could care less about the Pacers. What they talk about when they get together, they go, Joyce, I see you painted your house. Yeah, he was a louse. Don't hire him. Right? But the plumber was real good. And the heating and air guy put this thing in my furnace, and I don't go to the doctor as much with the kids with their allergies. That's what the ladies talk about. So when you sell accessories, the ladies talk about that, and they talk about accessories, not that, oh my goodness, it's 92 degrees on this register. Isn't it nice and warm? They don't talk about that. They talk about the accessories. The other thing that you should do is you should make a customer aware of new things that are available, continually enhancing their systems over time. We're going to show you the new thermostat coming out where you can put a message that says, in January it'll flop up, it'll say, house dry, itchy skin, need humidity, call me. You're sending them a message. You already talked to them when you put the system in June. Do you need a humidifier? They said no. And now you're touching them again, saying, you sure you don't want a humidifier? You got a 50-50 shot. The wife says, you know, we need a humidifier. Call him. What do you got to lose, right? You got nothing to lose. your customer's profitability. Here's the key question I'm going to ask you tonight. Who's your competitor? Who do you think your competitor is? When you talk about the internet and you talk about wireless. You're right. Your competitor is not him. Your competitor is not him. You guys do not really compete on the internet and the wireless field. Do not. Here is your competitor. Right there. Best Buy. First thing everybody tells me is, Tom, the customers don't want wireless and they don't want internet. The Nest sold 1 million units in 1 year. But Tom, they don't want it. Well, 1 million of them did. Tom, they won't pay for it. Anybody price the Nest at Best Buy? How much? 270, 245? But they won't pay for it, Tom. 245 times a million, $245 million. 10% of that, I'd be in Tahiti. You got what I'm saying? A, it's an urban myth they don't want it, and it's an urban myth they won't pay for it. They do want it, and they will pay for it. My problem is, you don't tell them you can give it to them. We know for a fact that if a homeowner buys an internet-connected stat at Best Buy, it will be on the internet within 2 weeks of the purchase. We track it. We know for a fact if you sell them an internet-connected stat, I got a 20% chance it'll be hooked up in 8 months. That's sad. Isn't it? And we got to change this mode, or these guys are going to beat us out. The next thing Best Buy sells is a remote temperature monitors. What the heck is a thermostat? Got my drift? Energy use monitor, we don't do that. Cheap weather station, if you get on the internet, you get a 5-day forecast. So everything they're selling, you can sell. All you got to do is offer it. Your next competitor is Lowe's. Again with the Nest and with this Venstar. They're selling these systems. Homeowners are going in and buying it. The next guy we got, this is terrible. If you've been hearing these ads around town, Xfinity and Comcast, anybody seen it on the TV? You have, haven't you? They're advertising what? We'll set you up and get on the internet, is that correct? We will sell you a thermostat and get you hooked up on the internet. Comcast, a TV repairman, is taking your business. Think about that. He's in there selling a thermostat, and we all lose. When the TV repairman sells it, we all lose. I lose because I don't make a sale to Tom. Tom loses because he didn't make a sale to you. And you lose because you didn't tell the guy you could do it. That's a scary thought, isn't it? And I'm really trying to drive this point home that we got to get out of our box. We got to move over so that we start telling people, hey, I'm going to do this for you. You have to learn how to do it and tell people you know how to do it. I got a distributor up in Fort Wayne. The owner just built a nice house, and the sound around guy was putting in this TV. And he asked the owner of a distributor, hey, how would you like for me to put a thermostat on your wall and you can change the temperature with your TV remote on your TV? What do you think? He called his HVA guy, said, do you want this sound around guy to put a thermostat on my geothermal 4-stage system that you just put in? No! Well, why didn't you tell me about the internet? See what I'm driving at here? We got to do something here. Then you have Ecobee. I can't downgrade Ecobee. They've been out there for a little while. They have some faults, but that's not what we're in here for today. Allure, I don't even know who Allure is. Is anybody? They're out there selling internet stats very successfully. Then we have the high-end folks. If you are one of these high-end dealers that sell high-end stuff, I love you. I really do. I love you because it's a good, better, best proposition that you're going to be offering. The best is your high-end. You're a train guy, you sell all the train stuff. You're American Standard, you sell on the American Standard. You're a carrier, you sell on the carrier, high end. But you don't always close high end, do you? So I'll take the better. And I'll be the guy right down below it that you offer as your second option. And I'll take that business. But at least you're out there selling a good, better, best tier. And that's what you should be doing every time that you're selling equipment offering a good, better, best. Your high-end line, the Honeywell line the next, and then the cheaper Honeywell line after that. All right? That's what you should be doing. And so what we're going to talk about tonight is some of the systems that we have that you can hook up to the internet and you can talk to. This is really a wake-up call. We got to beat the TV repairman. We can't. It's shame on us if he beats us up. It's that simple. So here's what you got. Number one, you have another guy who takes business from you. Security, AT&T. They go in there with a Z-Way system and put a Z-Way stat on. The Jackson folks have a TH8320WZ Z-Way that they can sell you so that you can put the thermostat on the security system and you get the sale and not the security guy. Fair enough? You then have home automation, Zigbee. These guys are going to be big. They're big in California right now. And they offer thermostats that show the energy. They offer thermostats where if you allow them, when they have a peak, they will turn off your compressor or they will turn up your temperature setting. If you allow them and they give you $5 or $10 a month. They've been doing it down in Evansville for at least 20 years. Where they hit a peak down there, they turn off your unit. Now, if you really want to eat hot dogs some night, turn off the air conditioner on your wife at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when it's 92 degrees outside. Go ahead, knock yourself out. You might not even have hot dogs. She might just say, we're going out. All right? So that's really not a solution. But the energy systems do it, and they're doing it. The next thing you got is Wi-Fi. We're going to talk about Wi-Fi. And then you have the Honeywell Red Link that's been around for about 5 years. One of my stats that's a Red Link has been on since 08. I know from the date code. So we've been out there that long. So let's review what the Honeywell product offering is for you today. The first thing we have to offer is Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is a TH6320. It's a programmable 3 heat, 2 cool. WF stands for Wi-Fi. It's the Focus Pro that you're loving. No, you sold a lot of them. Thank you. You notice we have a little antenna in here. This is not a wireless stack. You must put all the wires to it. If you got a 1 heat, 1 cool that you program this thing to, you got to put all the wires there. If it's a heat pump, you got to put all the wires there. Plus, you have to put a common to make the Wi-Fi antenna work. There is nothing wireless about this thermostat. The only thing wireless is the Wi-Fi antenna to the router. That's wireless. Everything else is hardwired, okay? This does not do dual fuel. So if you buy this 3 heat, 2 cool heat pump stat and apply it to dual fuel and come back into Jackson and say, you sold me the wrong stat, they're going to say, no, you bought the wrong stat. All right? The one that does dual fuel is this one. This is a TH8320 touchscreen WF. 1029 is the touchscreen. It does 3 heat and 2 cool, and it does dual fuel. And again, it is not wireless. You must have all the wires go to it. If it's a 2 heat, 2 cool, you need all the wires. If it's a dual fuel, you need all the wires. Plus, you need an outdoor sensor wired to it. The only thing that's wireless is the antenna to the router. That's wireless. Fair enough? So I want you to understand that. And you must have a common for the antenna to work. It's a good stat. And it fits a lot of homes applications. And the challenge that we give you, how many people in here have service contracts? Got some service contracts? Here's a challenge we give you. You got a guy in a service contract, they've been renewing with you for the last 12 years. This year, you go in there with 2 service contracts. the one you've been offered all the time, and then you offer a connected one. And the connected one, you have priced in either the TH8 or the TH6 Wi-Fi. And if they sign the connected one, you go to your truck, you get the Wi-Fi stat out, you put it on the house, and you hook them to the Wi-Fi. Right then and there. Now remember, they've signed this service contract for the last 12 years. They're going to sign one of them, aren't they? The question is, which one are they going to sign? And the other thing is, what have you done to this customer? You've let them know you can get them on the internet. If they say no today, they still know you can do it. See what I'm driving at? You got nothing to lose. Key features on this looks just like the VisionPRO. It's dual fuel. It's 7 days programmable. It has auto changeover. It's got a filter, humidifier pad, and UV bulb reminder. It's got your permanent holds of vacation. And you have a choice of one indoor sensor and an outdoor sensor. You cannot have both. One or the other. And that'll do your dual fuel for you, okay? If you take a look at what it does, when you go to My Total Connect Comfort, we'll try to get on tonight. I get on their internet. You go to this site, they set up an account. Once they set up an account, they go to the Wi-Fi, they get it all hooked up. And once they're all hooked up, they can go to system and they can do on-off, auto and heat. They can change the temperature settings. They can set the fan on and off or auto. They can do remote scheduling. And they can get a 5-day weather forecast by hitting this little logo. And it is the weather forecast of the zip code that it's registered in. Not the closest airport. The zip code that you're registered in. It will alert filter reminders if it is a VisionPRO, and it'll alert high temperature and low temperature. So you can say, if it's 40 degrees in this house in the middle of the winter, I want to know about it. So when they go down to Florida for their 2-week vacation, bang, it hits 40 degrees, bang, we send an email to them down in Florida and say, yo, you better call somebody. Your house is cold. All right? They can do that. It also tells you loss in communication. If for some reason the Wi-Fi doesn't go to the router, we'll tell you that. You do not lose heating and air if you lose communication because you're hardwired. You just lost communication. And if anybody's ever dealt with Wi-Fi in their house, there are sometimes you wonder, where the hell did the bars go? Right? You're in one room. I can be in one room with this computer, have 5 bars, go down to the den and have 1 bar. I'm going, what happened? I just walked 20 feet down the road and I lose all this signal. That's a downside of Wi-Fi, but it still works, okay? Any questions on the 2 Wi-Fi stats and what we had to offer? We're going to show you how to hook them up. And as far as wiring and operation, if you used a VisionPRO or if you used a Focus Pro, it's the same thermostat. It's just going to offer Wi-Fi. By the way, you can sell them the VisionPRO Wi-Fi and the Focus Pro Wi-Fi and not hook it up. You can put the Wi-Fi on later, right? You can still use that stat as one of your standard stats, as a replacement stat. If they don't want Wi-Fi, great. If they want Wi-Fi, great. The cost of the VisionPRO stat is the same as what you're paying today for the equal stat. TH8320U that you're buying today, same cost as the TH8320WF. No cost difference. So one of the things that you might see in the distributors, that they're going to get rid of some of their inventory and bring this in instead. Because they're not going to carry a bunch of SKUs in their inventory. Now let's talk about RedLink. The key to RedLink is that it is truly wireless. All the accessories are wireless. Here's what we have to offer you today. We got a TH5320. The odd number means that it's non-programmable. 3 heat, 2 cool. R stands for RedLink. This is Garanimals. You say, what can I use with a RedLink system? Does it have an R in it? Yes, you can use it. Does it have a U in it? Yes, you can't use it. Got it? WFs go to WFs, U's go to U's, and R's go to R's. And you don't intermingle them. It's pretty easy. They had to do it for me and Gary, so we'd understand the filing system. So this has worked with the zoning system. What you're going to do is you're going to take that signal from either one of these. This is a programmable 3 heat 2 cool, and you're going to send it to a receiver relay that is wired to a zoning board, and you can run up to 4 wireless thermostats on this zoning boards, and these are the thermostats that you use as Focus Pros. We also have a Prestige that is a thermostat by itself that's used with the same zoning board with the receiver relay. Anytime you have a Y in a Honeywell number, you just got a Happy Meal. You're going to get more than one item in the package. So in this case, you get the receiver relay, the thermostat, and a return air sensor. Same with this, and same with this. More than one item. This is a truly wireless thermostat. You're going to put that any place in the house you want. You're going to put the receiver relay on the furnace. You're going to hardwire the receiver relay to the furnace. The receiver relay, for you old timers, is a Q539A subbase. See, I get the guys who go, yeah, I understand that one. That one with the T7300 F1859, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You also have a return air sensor, because if you lose the signal between the thermostat that is battery powered, no juice at all, and the receiver relay, you don't have heat. And you don't have cool. Even though we told the homeowners for the last 4 weeks, check your battery. And they went and took their hearing aid out and changed it. No. Right? So what we'll do is, if you lose your battery or communication between your equipment interface module, what I call the receiver relay, and the thermostat, the return air sensor will keep you at a temperature, so you don't freeze pipes. Okay? That's your safety. That's the same thing that happens with this down here. So these are the RedLink products we got today, that we have for the last 5 years. Now what we've done is we've changed the look of the the Prestige. Remember that big, bulky looking Prestige? It was huge. It was bigger than that. That's big. Okay? So what we've done is we've come down with some smaller designs. It comes in white, white, gray, gray, black, and black. Here's your black and black. Okay? You need 24 volts to here, because this is a high def stat, and there's not a battery big enough, even for the new Boeing Dreamliners. They don't have the right batteries to keep this powered long enough, okay? So you need 24 volts to here, and it's wireless to the equipment interface module. And of course, me being the dummy, I said, gee, white, white's all anybody wants. Who wants black, black? Who wants silver and silver, right? First dealer I showed it to, oh man, she's going to love that black, black in her dining room. Go with everything she's got there. Showed another guy, oh man, that builder's going to love this for his 150 condos. This will look great. Another guy took the silver. Oh man, I'll put this on the side of the kitchen on here. It'll go great with all the silver appliances in the kitchen. I'm going, what happened to white, white? Okay, so I have no earthly idea what's going to sell. But we make it in 4 different colors. All right, there they are. They're smaller. So what we have, for those of you who bought Honeywell, THX9421R, it's a standalone Prestige that worked with the zoning system. That has now turned out to be a THX9421R 5021XX. The XX is the color. You put BB there, you're going to get a black one. You put WW there, you're going to get a white one. There's no price difference between the different colors. Here's a kit we have, YTHX9421R 5051. It had the stack, the interface module, and discharge and return air sensor. Here's the new kit number.
Hey Tom, did these background colors change with the...
Any color you want.
Is that right?
any color you want. Where's that one piece of paper in your flyer? Is there one in there? Now keep going, one more. Hold that up, please, show them. See that right there? With the young lady with the paintbrush?
Yeah.
We will make it any color you want, and some of them will be ugly as sin.
Is that something you program in itself?
You go in there to the preferences, and you go backdrop, and you pick your color. So on St. Patty's Day, if you want to make it Kelly green with yellow letters, knock yourself out.
Decorating their house.
Yeah, yeah. We're not Sherman-Williams. We're not going to get to the same pixels that Sherman-Williams was with their little computer, but we're going to get real close. So if she wants green background or pink background or blue or yellow, knock yourself out. Okay? Good question. The next kit we have out there, these were our two bigger sellers. The only difference between these kits was an outdoor sensor and not an outdoor sensor. I have had up to 16 of these thermostats on one outdoor sensor. So if you have a house with 3 units, you need 2 of these and 1 of these. Fair enough? That's how she works. And there's your outdoor sensor. The next thing we have is a new equipment interface module. The old one, the 13, no discharge and return. The 002, discharge and return. The discharge and return will give you change in delta T on every stage. So you can use it to see what's going on. If you wanted to, you can take one of these off and you could put a digital input like at the sump pump and have an alarm. But y'all complained. You didn't like that. So with the new equipment interface module, we have a discharge and return, and then we have 2 additional inputs. So on the 2 additional inputs, if you work on the commercial market, you can put this in a walk-in cooler. You can set it at the temperature you want, and when it goes above that temperature, close the contact, alarm comes on the front of the screen, and if you're hooked to the internet, somebody's getting an email that the walk-in cooler is too hot. The freezer's too hot. It's 3 feet and rising in the basement, the sump pump's not working. You got a hockey puck in your A-coil tray. There's water there. It'll alarm out. You put a static pressure switch. The static's wrong. Gee, maybe they didn't change the filter. And we need to go change the filter. It will alarm out. I will alarm out anything you want as long as I have an open-close switch off of anybody's device. Anybody. In Kentucky, at a Thornton Oil, I don't know why Louisville did this, the state of Kentucky and Louisville decided that the CO2 sensors, the Coke machines, the CO2 dispensers, if it leaked, it could kill somebody. They win basketball, but they're not too smart there, hey? But anywho, they require that you have a CO2 sensor above your Coke dispensers to monitor any leak. And I have a CO2 sensor in a Thornton Oils that's monitoring that, and it'll trip an alarm and send an email if those canisters ever leak. Whatever you want an alarm, open close contactors. Fair enough? Anything. Anything. Now, return and discharge. The discharge, you can set this thermostat to have a low limit. So you can put a low limit of, say, 40 degrees. Now, if you have a 90-degree day going outside and your discharge gets to 40, what's probably wrong?
Blower motor's gone.
Blower motor's gone, or ice on the coil, right? So now let me give you these 2 scenarios. You got a young lady came home. She has 2 children on her hips. She walks to the door at 6:30 after working all day, and whoo, it's 89 degrees in her house. She picks up her cell phone. She walks out to the furnace. She's hitting thermostats. She goes out there. She calls you and said, that black hose that's coming out of that piece of sheet metal, it's got ice on it. Right? Anybody ever had that conversation with a customer? Anybody not had that conversation with a customer, right? And your first statement is, well, you probably have a clogged filter. When's the last time you changed your filter? I don't have a filter. No. You have a filter. No, I don't. Ma'am, you really have a filter. When's the last time you changed it? And the person that's better than that is the person you go to. Oh, I change that filter once a month. And there's the dirty one that looks like a solid plywood board around the corner that you didn't have the decency to throw away, right? Before you got there. You've been there too, haven't you? Huh? 2 scenarios. Okay, so that's scenario 1. Scenario 2 is 40 degrees. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and it's 40 degrees because she's got a block of ice because she didn't change her filter. By the way, when she tells you she has a block of ice, what are you going to tell her to do to that system? Turn it off and turn fan on because you can't do anything until the ice melts. Right? So, 10 o'clock in the morning, you hit 40 degrees here. We're going to put an alert on the thermostat. If you're hooked to the internet, she's going to get, or he, husband and wife team, are going to get an email at work. You don't have any cooling. Call Joe. Right? Plus, we're going to turn off the unit and turn on the blower. Just what you told her to do. Which scenario do you want? A, or the person that's calling you at 10 in the morning with a problem? A, the person at 6:30 going, what do you mean you can't get here tonight? What do you mean the ice has... No, I don't have a filter. What do you mean the ice has to melt? I'm hot. By the way, if I turned off the air at 10 in the morning and started melting the ice, is there a possibility I might limp out some cool air before she gets home at night? Yeah. So that's what the discharge does. It's very important. And because of that, there's about a $10 price difference between these 2 kits, this module and this module. I wouldn't sell anything but this. I wouldn't install anything but this for that factor right there.
So that's not going to automatically reset itself?
It will with when it gets to your differential.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But then you got the ice melted and you got things calmed down, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know if it shut it completely down until someone came out there and reviewed
No, I think, no, it recycles.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah. But you see what you're doing here? You got a happy, yes sir.
If the system has safeties on the outside, that's going to keep it off till you get there too.
Yeah. Yeah, your system's going to do that too. But the bottom line is this. You don't have a person that's worked all day coming into a house that's 89 degrees with 2 screaming kids that want dinner. You got somebody at 10 o'clock in the morning that knew they had a problem and you were on top of it already.
Yeah.
Which is better customer relationships.
No, before they do.
Oh, you got that right. And this will do it. This will do it. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it optional for the customer to be connected to us when it comes to that? Because we always want to know. So do we make that customer aware that we're connected, so when there's a breakdown, we're going to know? Or is it the customer's, do they decide?
Well, it's an election year, so yes.
I mean, I kind of feel like, they wouldn't say that.
Here's the deal. There are some customers that don't want you to know anything, and there's other customers that tell you where the keys are, and by the way, the cookies are in the oven, just pull them out when you get there, right? Okay. When you go there, and we'll set up an account. When you set up an account, you can have 6 email addresses. So the homeowner can designate up to 6 people that get emails of any of the alerts that come out. So they can designate you as one of those emails.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
Yes.
And if they don't want you, they take you off. Okay? Fair enough? That's the way it works. All right, oh, by the way. Can you pass that back to her? That was a good question. The other thing that this Prestige does, it has alert logs. Anytime an alert gets triggered, a low ambient on the discharge, a water sensor over here, a static pressure switch, a sump pump, it's recorded. Walk-in cooler, it's recorded. You can go into the stat and see the last 25 and scroll down. If you take a zip drive and put it in the bottom here, you can download the last 250. You can take it to an Excel spreadsheet and you can see the last 250 alerts. So you can kind of see where all my problems are. This alert log has made me a friend at Steak and Shake. They have them down there in Louisville. We were at one of their stores, just put it in. After a week, we went in there, we downloaded the alerts, put it on here, and I said, we got a problem. What? Well, every day, you're losing electricity. Once a day, if not twice a day, you're losing electricity to the thermostat. We better check that out. We might have a bad thermostat. The manager over here said, nah, you don't have a problem. The facility manager over here says, what do you mean we don't have a problem? Oh, we lose electricity every day here, once or twice a day. LG&E was called that afternoon. They no longer lose electricity once or twice a day at that facility. So that came up in the alert log. Bang, something that simple.
Hey, Tom, can I ask a
Yes.
question? On heat pumps.
Yes.
It's going to still sense warm air because the auxiliary heat's going to come on, but the outdoor unit's not running. Is there a way to alarm the customer of that situation?
Okay, what? Say that to me. Okay, I got it. This is where I need Gary, right?
In a heat
Okay.
pump mode with
Yep.
two heats, if
Yep.
the outdoor unit shuts off, the
Yep.
auxiliary heat's going to come on.
Yep.
Is there a way we can tell the customer that their outdoor unit's not running, and instead of them getting a bill for $300 for auxiliary heat for 30 days?
I'm going to think about that, and I'll get back with you, because what we have is we have the capabilities to do change in delta T's. All right? And so what, but you're going to get...
But that's a great question.
Oh, it was, right? Yeah. You want popcorn or cookies?
I don't matter.
I've got a suggestion here.
Hey, well, let me finish
Okay.
this thought here. So I got he's got a suggestion, he got something.
Tom, just give me a box and all.
All right.
Oh, there you go. So I got a capabilities on this to do a change in delta T log. I can do change in delta T on each stage.
Okay.
And I can say if the change in delta T doesn't do it in the time frame that I said it was supposed to do it per stage, I will send out an alert. That might be your, because what will happen is you don't have the change in delta T and the first compressor doesn't come on, right? Then when the second compressor doesn't come on, and then when the strip heat finally comes out, it's going to say, wait a second. So you didn't hit the change in delta T's in the first two stages, so yes, you'll get an alarm.
That's the biggest complaint customers have.
Okay,
They don't know
and
what
that might work for him, shouldn't it? Do you have a question? No? Just getting comfortable? Keeping your head up? No, okay. All right, but that's a good question. I think you can do it that way. Because you can set up a frequency of either 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 25 times it doesn't hit change in delta T, let me know. So how do you want to set it up? How severe you want to get to know that it's a change in delta T and not a change in delta T. And it'll alarm you out. So yeah, I'll do that. The other thing, this does a commercial job. This will be a commercial or residential stat. It has a user interaction log. So when you're in a restaurant and they say, oh, I never touch a thermostat, you can go in there and go, Jim, Monday, 1 p.m., somebody lowered this set point 2 degrees. If it wasn't you, who was it? 250 times will tell you how many people change this thermostat, either on, off, heat to cool, up, down, whatever it is. We'll let you know who the fat-fingered people are that, I never touch that thermostat. Mm-mm. You were going to say something and I cut you off. What was it?
Well, I guess if you put a lockout on the auxiliary heat,
Mm-hmm.
so that if the heat pump shut down and you have the auxiliary locked out at, let's say, 35 or 40 degrees and it's warmer than that, then obviously a homeowner's going to know because it's not heating.
Right.
But I don't know how you would trigger an alert at that point.
No, I think the change in delta T log
the same.
alert will do it.
Okay.
This also has a performance log where it will go every stage and tell you the runtime in hours and minutes per stage. It'll also tell you the discharge temperature. It'll tell you the change in delta T. It'll tell you the run temperature, the outdoor temperature, and the outdoor humidity in a log. And you can set it up to the frequency that you want, So if you're having a problem piece of equipment, you can go in there and kind of, okay, what the heck's going on here? And that's a service tool for you. Doesn't have to be set up, but if you want it set up, set it up. Mike's not in here, is he? Don't show it to a Purdue grad, engineer. They'll mess it up for sure. Okay? I always tease Mike about that. All right, so that's the new Prestige. And it also hooks to the internet. We're going to get what it'll do too. Now the new baby we got out here, meet the new touchscreen. You all have used the VisionPRO 8000, is that correct? Here is the new VisionPRO 8000. Done. Okay? And we've done a lot of changes with it. And we'll pass it around. The 1210 installer setup is how to get in. It's a date code. As you pass that around, the first thing you're going to notice, you don't need that sheet of paper ever again. 120 to 2. 240. Is it a heat pump or conventional? It's a heat pump. How many stages? 4. 6. Anybody ever done that? Set up a T? Anybody ever done that on a telephone? Because the guy lost a sheet of paper? Yeah. Not anymore. This asks questions. It's totally universal. It's easier and faster to install. It does like commercial. When you go in installer setup mode on that thermostat, the new VisionPRO, the first thing it asks you, is this a commercial or is this a residential application? If you say commercial, it is occupied, unoccupied. It has an economizer. It has pre-purge capabilities before the store opens. It has holidays, not vacation. You can take that thermostat, you can find a Thursday after Thanksgiving right here tonight. You can go to that date and say at 3 o'clock in the morning, I want this store to be 70 degrees for all those people waiting outside for my Black Friday sale. And the Friday after Thanksgiving, 3 o'clock, that stat's going to be 70 degrees. If they're off Labor Day, do unoccupied Labor Day. Labor Day from here to eternity until you change it, it's going to be unoccupied. Fair enough? It's truly a commercial stat. Generates repeat business. Like the Prestige, you can put 10 messages in the thermostat to have people come and say, hey, you have a cleaning check, call me. And we'll go over some other ones a little later. Redesigned accessories. I see we have one gentleman that has to get home early, and he's taking his box with him.
Yeah, my son has a thing at the school graduating.
Oh, good. What? High school, grade
Yeah,
school?
high school. Yeah.
Good luck.
He starts in the field soon.
All right. Take care. Okay, here's the deal.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming.
Just like the VisionPRO you got today,
Great, thank you.
you can hardwire it to the furnace. All right? You do that today, right? Now, if you put 24 volts to this, you now can take any RedLink accessory and hook it to it. So by putting 24 volts right here, hardwiring it to here, you now can take a wireless indoor sensor and put it in that commercial building. You can take a wireless outdoor sensor and run your dual fuel heat pump. You can hook up the rig, RedLink Internet Gateway, wirelessly get on the internet. Just by putting 24 volts to this thermostat. That's big.
Is there a special on the rigs through Honeywell?
Yes, there is. Thank you very much. I'll tell Mike Keller you asked that question in class. Did you want popcorn or cookies for that question? Anyone who buys a rig between, first of all, how many people are contractor pros? Yeah. You're not a contractor pro? Jackson, what? Set him up.
We're slacking.
I know. Contractor pro is like a frequent flyer points. For everything you buy at Honeywell, you log points. Jackson does for you. You don't have to do it. When you get X so many points, you can cash them in for a certificate, and then I buy the equipment. It's a deal. It's about a 2% cash back, right?
I mean, we literally have people certificates for $5,000 worth of free product. So they place a purchase order, turn in the certificate to pay for it. It's like cash. So if you're not a Contractor Pro, make sure you see one of us, and we'll get you the form, because it's free money. You don't have to do anything.
It's not even a form. We'll get on the internet.
Yeah.
We'll get you on right now.
And probably even though you should buy all of your Honeywell from us, even if you were to buy it from another distributor, probably they're tracking your points too, and you don't have to do anything. So it's not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Okay. All right. So what we're going to tell you is, for every Red Link Internet Gateway that you buy, and we're going to show you a picture of it in a second, you get $25 worth of Contractor Pro points. And the gateway costs about $100, so in essence you're buying it for $75. That's a hell of a discount, isn't it? Yeah, we wanted you to do it. So that's this one. Now, if you put batteries in this, and then you put the receiver relay we talked about, or equipment interface module, whatever you want to call it, on the furnace, you now have wireless from here to here, and you wire it to here. You now have wireless indoor sensors, wireless outdoor sensors, wireless remote controls, wireless internet connection. Now think about some of these ladies in their houses. Some of them would like to get that thermostat off their wall. You could put this thermostat in the pantry. You could put this thermostat in the master bedroom and use a wireless indoor sensor. Think of that house you went to. You can't zone it. You just can't. There's too much sheetrock and you can't put dampers in, right? But they have temperature problems. I can put 6 wireless indoor sensors on one of these thermostats. So they have upstairs, downstairs. Put 2 sensors. Put 2 and 2. They got a romper room that's hot or cold. Put a sensor out there. They got a ranch. One end's always hotter or colder than the other. Put one in each end, one in the middle. Are you going to solve their problem? No. Are you going to help their problem? Yes. See what I'm driving at? That input. But now you can offer it. Before, you had to hardwire it. And there's not anybody in this room who's going to have a hardwired remote sensor someplace, not unless it's called for to specs. Right? That's for sure. The other thing is, you have it so it can go to the receiver relay that goes to the zoning board. And you can have up to 4, depending on your panel, of these stats on one of these receiver relays. Now I'll tell you a problem that we have with the signal. When you get a steel roof, sometimes we have problems. On a commercial building, steel roof. So what you can do is you can take this receiver relay, you wire it to here, there are ABCD to ABCD, you drop this below the steel roof line, you got me? And then you put the equipment interface module on the equipment. This receives a signal and 4 wires takes it up to the interface module. And that gets you around the steel roof. Because I've had steel roof problems and that's how we get around it. So if you have a steel roof in a commercial building, save yourself headaches. Price this out. You may not need it, but if you do, at least you already have it priced out. See what I'm driving at you? You're not losing money. I don't want you to lose money. Okay. Plain English to set up. If you're at a commercial job, in a commercial building, you can zip up a zip drive. You can download the program that you just put in, to heat, to cool, economizer, da-da-da-da-da-da, your name, rank, and serial number, and then take it out, go to the next thermostat, upload it, and it'll take you about 3 seconds to upload all the information instead of going through each phase. You got help screens.
But it's a micro SD and not a USB thumb drive.
That's correct.
So that is a little bit.
So the next class we'll give those away.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, got it coming for you guys. It's commercial. It uses commercial language. It meets commercial code. This is California. It's got an economizer, remote setback, dry contacts, and all these alerts and lockouts. It also has an override. For example, if you had that thermostat on this wall right here, we could have it occupied, and then we could have a 4-hour bump. And Tom could sit in his office downstairs when the class was 2 hours before the class was going to start, and he could hit occupy. Not even leave his office, and that stat would go to the occupied mode and bring on the cooling. And that's for those conference rooms and offices where they don't use a lot. They got a remote control to turn it on and off. All right, contractor benefit. You can put your dealer information on the screen. Though Jackson Imprinting looks real good right here. You owe me for that one. You can put your name, rank, and serial number right here.
I'll get you a purchase order. Yeah.
Okay?
You want steak or chicken?
Yeah, steak or chicken. There you go. You also can put customer reminders in here. You can put spring or fall. You can say you have a spring cleaning check with us. Call us. Every April, it's going to come up. Every September 15th, you can say you have a fall cleaning check with me. Call us. You can sell the system, the heating and air, in June. They don't buy a humidifier. In January, you can have it come up here. House dry, skin itchy, need humidity, call me. Yes, sir.
Will that control a humidifier?
Yes. If you have the equipment interface module, yes. The equipment interface module will do humidification, dehumidification, and ventilation, as well as a discharge sensor, return air sensor, and the 2 digital inputs. Yes?
What's the maximum number of reminders you can put in?
10. 10.
What about the fact that there is a version that is, you have to buy the 8321?
Oh, you're getting fancy on me, are you? Okay.
Is that true? You got to have the 21 to do certification control?
In this box, that one of these kits you're going to get, you have a sensor. Hey, look at all this stuff's in here. We're giving this away? Holy crapes. This is a deal. This is a Calibro Antorosanti, no, where were we? Wireless indoor sensor, and it does temperature and humidity. So if you use this with any one of those 3 stats, this is your humidity sensor, and when you put the equipment interface module, it will control a humidifier. It will control a dehumidifier. Did I answer your question?
No, so why would you ever buy the 8321?
That's a real good question, Tom. I don't have an answer for it. Maybe
Can you wire it directly and do humidity?
What was it? Okay. The TH831, the 1 signifies, there we go. The 1 means it has humidity. The 0 means no humidity, 3 heat, 2 cool, no humidity. But as soon as you put this with this and this, you can control humidity.
But if you didn't want to buy those 2, you could buy just the 8321 and control
and this
humidifier or dehumidifier.
You
still
need
have to
this.
buy that?
You need this. So now the question is, what is the price difference between this and this and this? In other words, these 3 together or these 2 together? What's the price difference? And I bet you they're real close.
That seems really strange.
But it's Honeywell. You say that all the time. He does too, doesn't he?
Tom, what's the maximum number of characters you can put on that screen?
I haven't tried yet, but grab it. We'll do it tonight. Find out. I did it one time.
Could the messages be saved on the SD card and automatically uploaded? So
We'll try it. We'll try it tonight.
technician went out to the field, it'd already be done.
It can be zipped up.
'Cause
Yeah.
that would be a pain in the butt to try to enter.
Or you could program the stat at the shop.
That's what I meant.
It's a double EEPROM, and give it to him and say, "This is house 42." Yeah.
Yeah.
The other message. Let me see. Now you got me going way ahead of myself here.
Why can't we just, if it's all internet linked, why can't we change our own message and send it to their thermostat? If we're part of their email, or,
Give us a few months.
huh?
It's coming.
Oh, that's coming.
Everything's coming in the cloud, okay? When we first brought this stat out, you couldn't change the schedule. And all of a sudden, I got a little alert that says, it's in the cloud. And now you can change the schedule. So every time we get updates, we force it through the cloud, okay? So we're constantly working on stuff, but we got to get product out and start getting a return on our investment, just like you do, right?
I have a question about the
Yes.
messages. When you set up the message, like for a fall inspection, will
Yeah.
it only go to the stat, or will it go to their emails that they have on?
That was I have to find that out. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
I'll find that out.
That's a great question.
It is. That's a good. She's gonna take all the cookies.
Oh, but she gets two?
Yeah.
She gets one for each question? Holy
Ooh.
cow.
So you got 10. Other people that I know, new construction's starting to take off again, right? For those of you in the new construction market, do you really know whoever buys the house? No. Would it be smart to have a thermostat that 15 months from the day you installed the thermostat, a message came up and said, hi, we're Jim's Heating and Air. Call us we installed the system. Call us for more information. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. What about 10 years from now when the warranty's up? You can go out 9 years, 10 months, and say, your 10-year warranty's up in 60 days. Call for more information. You can put anything on there you want.
But you have to download it first. You can't send it out from the
You-
service manager's office.
I don't know yet. We're going to try it. No. You can put the messages in here. It's a double EEPROM. They're burned in once you type it in. So you can do it at the office.
You just
But I can't, like, email it to that thermostat.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Because first of all, we made the assumption that that homeowner gave you permission to be in that thermostat. You see? They might say, no, you can't be in the thermostat. I don't want your email there. I'll call you when I get the email. So that wouldn't even work for you, see, if we had that capability.
Sure would, because I tell them that's what the connectivity fee is for.
Okay, fee. Okay. You see, I have a guy every fall, a message comes up that says, call the irrigation guy, drain the pipes. He knows the one that freezes watering system. Again, I don't care what you put on there. Put your wife's birthday if you want. Happy birthday, dear.
Okay, so might be a stupid question, but the customer needs to clear the message when they've read it. There's an option to clear
Yes.
it, right? It doesn't just stay there.
They clear it,
Okay.
and then it says dealer information. If they hit that, your name comes up. Or they can say remind me later. They hit remind me later, and then it says 7 days, 20 days, 30 days, remind me later.
Okay.
Okay? So there are other options, yeah. But they have to clear it, and they can't clear it. Okay? I got a feeling they like this. I've never had so many questions. Easy to program. Daily interact. Once you get the homeowner to do this, it's very easy. It's not as difficult as the first thermostats we brought out with. That just stay on hold all their life. Because nobody knows how to program them. Here's all the wireless stuff that you can get with it. Get on the internet, all your wireless that it goes with. Here's your model numbers. TH8321R. This has humidity. This is 3 heat, 2 cool, no humidity. This is 1 heat, 1 cool, no humidity. We have not changed this price. What you bought a TH8320U for is the same price as a TH8320R. Fair enough? Where we get you is the back plate, it's $100. Sound like Honeywell, right? Here's your equipment interface modules. Again, I would only go in with the duct sensors. We make it with or without. The duct sensors give you too much alarming capabilities and customer interaction and friendliness, and I wouldn't even switch it. What'd you do? Put your name on every one of my demos?
Yes.
You better not have.
Quick question. I know
Yeah.
you had that wireless entry exit remote. What's that? What's that? Is that gonna open a door or something?
No. He asked the question of what is the wireless entry and exit remote. And what that is that's when You can override it. You push a button. It's really where the homeowner can go and push a button as they walk out the door, and it'll all go into setback. Every thermostat you got hooked to it. So it could be sitting right next to the front door. When you take the cover off, when you get your kit and take the cover off, you can put a cover on that says occupied, unoccupied. It's the same switch, so that when you're in a conference room, you go occupied. Okay? Same thing. It's either going to take you to the occupied mode or unoccupied mode, and you can put more than one thermostat on it. Fair enough? Okay, now we got to ask the question of Wi-Fi versus Red Link. Why would you sell Red Link over Wi-Fi? It's familiar technology. Who doesn't have Wi-Fi in their house? I mean, it's here, right? The Wi-Fi router is dependent in range. How many people have problems with the Wi-Fi in their house, and sometimes it goes from 5 bars to 1 bar? Am I the only guy that happens to? It happens to me all the time, all right? So this is a problem right here. But you can buy boosters and put boosters in the house that spread the Wi-Fi signal out. So it can be done. The Wi-Fi alarms out what? High temp, low temp, some filter reminders, and lost communication. That's what it does. Good stack. You've been using them for years. Generates repeat business. You got 10 messages. You do not have 10 messages. Red Link accessories. You do not have a wireless outdoor sensor or indoor sensor or remote control. You do over here. You have diagnostics. You don't have diagnostics over here. Service reminders, 10 of them. You don't have those over here. See where we're going with this? Fault codes. This alarms out high temp, low temp. High temp, low temp. Close the walk-in door. Close the freezer door. You got ice on the coil. You got this, you got that. Changing delta T's wrong. Your sump pump's overflowing. We got a guy in Kentucky Lake, big old houseboat. It's about 80 feet long, 25 feet wide. It's a big houseboat. He's got a 5-ton train on the back when he puts it in the dock to keep it cool. He has a water sensor in his hull. And when it trips, the message on the screen says, bilge pump not working, you're sinking. I don't care what the message says. This will not do that.
Who is it?
He's down there in Kentucky Lake. They got some big houseboats down there. One of them has a basketball court on top of its houseboat. Service HPC wireless. This is hardwired. Rock solid reliability. It's been out there for 5 years. I've had it in my house for 5 years. I have no problems. Great wireless range. People always ask about that. I went into a Walmart store. They sold it. Rural King bought it. Now you know Walmarts. They're 2 stories, aren't they? Tall ceilings. 13 brand new units. We put 13 wireless sensors on the posts, 13 thermostats on the second floor mezzanine, and 13 equipment interface modules at the units. It's been running for 18 months. Haven't heard a word from them. That's a lot of space to cover. So we got great range. Increased homeowner. Here's the big thing. No router password. When you do a Wi-Fi and you go on in, you're going to see you're going to need an IP address for that thermostat. If you have a commercial building with 7 thermostats, you need 7 IP addresses with anybody's Wi-Fi thermostat. I defy you to get 7 IP addresses from the IT man. Go ahead, try it. Ain't going to happen. Those guys hide those things. I don't want you on my network. The Red Link does not go on their network. We do not need IP addresses. Every time the IT guy starts talking to us, we hand him a white paper, he reads it, he says, go ahead. Because we go around their system, don't go in their system. We go to Arizona to our system, and in our systems, we're monitoring banks, jewelry stores, homes, and we don't want you in our system. We don't want you there. So there's a lot of security there. Not getting crossed and getting hacked around. But no router password required. So that's the difference between a Wi-Fi and a Red Link. They both have their place. And they both work well. One's just, what do you want to offer your customer? You want to offer diagnostics, you want to offer alarms out, you want to offer reminders, you go with Redlink. You just want them to get on the Wi-Fi, high temp and low temp, go with Wi-Fi. Whichever you feel comfortable with. Here's how you install a rig. In the box with the rig comes an Ethernet cord and a 24-volt step-down transformer. And also a little card with 2 numbers on it. You plug these 2 in. You tell the thermostat that you want to hook a wireless device up. You push that button there while it says ready to connect. It'll blink real quick. You're connected. That was a tough one, wasn't it? Okay? And then you can see it. I'll show you my house. You can get what you can get. There's no setup fee. There's no monthly fee for this service. We'll show you a live one. Just forget what you see there. Here's the actual screen you see. And you can go in there and change anything you want.
Is the outdoor, is it still pulling the zip code
The outdoor temperature is...
sensor since you put your own wireless outside?
No. It's the forecast that's your zip code. Wherever you put the outdoor temperature sensor, that's where it is. Wherever it is. Okay, there's 2 different things. In other words, this out here, outdoor temperature and humidity, if you put that under the eaves in the north corner of a house, that is what's 47 and 35.
Okay, so it's reading the actual outside of your house. Or
when you hit
the forecast.
Forecast, it's a zip code. We'll show you that. Okay? You can use any one of these devices. Now, for those of you who have these devices in your hands right now today, you can go to the App Store. You can look up Honeywell on your App Store. You can download the app. And in the app, there's an account and there's a demo mode. And you can literally demo this stuff to homeowners by showing them your phone. Now, I'm one of those KGO salesmen, right? If I have only one person at home and they say, oh, I have to get my partner, the husband or the wife, whichever, to see if they want us to do it, I'm going to say, do you have an iPhone? Yeah. Would you like me to get the app on the iPhone so you can show your husband what you can do with this? And I would get that person to download the demo app. So now they have it on their phone that they can show somebody, and when they see it on their phone, they'll remember, you know what, we can get internet on our thermostat. See how mean I am?
Hey, Tom,
Yes.
is there a way to tie the Prestige thermostat Redlink stuff in through if you have a Honeywell home security system?
Not the Prestige. We got the Z-Way.
Can you connect the 2?
The Z-Way stat, TH8320WZ. Because the security system is operating on a Z-Way system, the Prestige is working on a Redlink system.
Could I then remotely turn the alarm off, say that my mom is coming down and she never remembers?
I'd have to ask the security folks, but I think you can. You're shaking your head yes, like, yeah. Now here's one for you. I had a guy up in up around northern Indiana. When he goes in and sees AT&T, they say, do you AT&T monitor the house? Yeah. What do they monitor? And he lists everything. And temperature. Low temperature is one of them. They say, how much do you pay for the low temperature? That's $12 a month. You can sell him this stat, do it for free. That's $144 a year. He's not paying AT&T. It's an interesting thought pattern, isn't it? You got to look for all those things. And here's all the phones it works on. So you got the connected thermostat line up as Redlink here. You got your Wi-Fi here, the TH6 and TH8. And here's your security, Z-Way. 3 different types, 3 different interface, Wi-Fi, Z-Way, and Redlink. And they don't talk to each other. Okay? Here's how you get on the thermostat that's Wi-Fi. You open a smartphone, tablet, or computer menu. You connect the thermostat to smartphone, tablet, or computer. Thermostat access point will be listed new thermostat XXS. Browser should be redirected to Wi-Fi. If it doesn't, you plunge in that number. If you're lost by now, you call your 13-year-old son. Our daughter? No. You select home Wi-Fi network, and you enter the password, and then now you're connected, and you can see it on the account. Let me show you this, because we showed you one thing, but let me go to My Total Connect here. Whoop. And see what, oh, down 97 cents. I got to work another 5 months. Damn the bad luck. Okay, here's what you're going to get when you first get there. You never had an account. You're going to go create an account. And after you do a create an account, it's going to ask you for an email. It's going to ask you for passwords. It's going to ask you for all that kind of good stuff. And then you're going to fill that in, and you're going to send an email out. We are then going to send you an email back. You're going to go through the Evelyn Woods speed reading class. And you say accept, yada, yada, yada. Put all your data in, submit. We then send you an email back and tell you that here is your site, and go to the site. And so when you go to that, get that email and hit that blue internet, you know how you get that, click here to get to the website URL, you get this. Then you type in the email address and password that you had. Okay, and then we're going to do this. All right, and we're going to log in. And I've already got an account. Come on, you can do this. Are we rewinding? There it is. This one I made up. I was showing something like this. I have 2 locations. This is my home. This is demos I have in my garage. Okay, so when I click on demos, one of them is a zoning system that has 3 thermostats on one system, and the other one's a TH6320. And this is what my garage is now, 77 or 76 degrees. If I want to view that thermostat, I click on that thermostat, and if I want to change anything, it's 77 degrees outside, it's 68% RH where I have my sensor. If I want to turn the cooling on, I put cooling, I say submit, and now I'm going to go into cooling. If I want to set it down lower, I set it down lower, and I hit submit, and now I got a new set point for cooling. See how you do that? That's how your homeowner can do it. All right. You want the 5-day forecast. This is on my front porch. That's where this is. I don't have a fancy hung up any place. Whoever asked where the sensor was. Okay. Let's see. Today's Wednesday, 88, 88. What's it going to do? All right, you guys are going to have variable cloudiness with thunderstorms warning. No, you guys get the rain. See, I get it on Thursday and Friday, and you get it Saturday and Sunday, if you watch the weather report lately, right? And if you notice, there's the zip code that this weather report's for. My 5-day weather report, okay? And you can go here, you can go menu, and when you go to the menu, this is where you can say, if my temperature is such and such a degree, let me know. If my temperature is such and such a degree, let me know. And it's taking a little while. So I can sit here and say, if the temperature here is, I can go to notify when the temperature is higher than, I can go here, lower than. I click this little box here, tell me I'm not going to do it, because in an hour from now, it'll tell me that it is. And I can tell me, I want to know in 45 minutes, 30 minutes, I want to know within an hour. So when I go out snow skiing, or I go down to Florida in the middle of the winter, I will know when it's 40 degrees in my house. Okay, so can your homeowner. Fair enough? Now, if we go back to where the top is, and we'll go to Control Center. Okay. We'll find out what the wife's really doing here. Come on. Isn't that crazy? Okay, now this is Judy's house. Notice how the different names are? This is the important one. You can go here, and you're going. Come on. It's not going to do it for me. There it is. This is Judy's house. Notice it's humidity now. It has humidity because these are Prestiges that sense humidity. The other one were Focus Pros. And you can do all the same thing. Here you want to view your dealer information. So if you get an alarm, this is where your name, rank, and serial number would come up that you already had in there. So when they're on the internet, they get an alarm, they can go, who's the dealer? Who should I be calling? You got that going. And cancel. We'll go back to here. If you want to add a device, you can add a device. right here. You can, because you can do, because this is 3 separate stats. I can put one more stat. I can put 4 systems per gateway. And if we go back to Control Center, we have add a location. I can add a location here, and this is where I can go in here. Say if you're working with a commercial account that has 15 locations, he can have all 15 locations. He's going to say his name, is it a building? Here's where you put the email addresses, whoever asked that question, of who gets the alerts. And we got Steak and Shake already buying these, and eventually on this one account, he will have 300 locations. No charge. And that's the account. The Wi-Fi is the same way. You're going to see the same thermostat on Wi-Fi. Okay? You're going to have the same capabilities. The only difference is the alarming out. Any questions? It was supposed to be an hour-and-a-half class and leave you there. We started 10 minutes after, didn't we? How's that for timing? Now, when you get this kit, 149, excuse me, got the wrong class.
What's in the kit? Because
The kit has, woohoo, this is neat. It has literature to start out with, but this is what I like. If you want to go in and show this to the homeowner, you take this box in there and,
Oh, I see Brian.
isn't that nice? This is a workable thermostat. You can put it on the wall. All right, and there's literature underneath it, so you can hand this to the lady of the house.
yeah, it's all about showing the different colors of the background of the stat that you can change the.
Okay, so this could be a sales
There's
tool.
literature in the bottom.
Yep.
Literature you may have seen in the news or whatever.
And then if you want to do that, we will let you have the new VisionPRO with the same.
Also a real working VisionPRO
This is a working VisionPRO.
that you could sell if you don't want to use the kit.
Or you can put it in your office and train your men. Whatever you want to do. It has a, go ahead.
Wireless outdoor sensor. You have the box for the Prestige.
Override. Box for the VisionPRO.
You have the portable comfort controller. This is the greatest thing in the world. Especially couples, if you're married or whatever. We have one in our house, and my wife thinks this is the greatest thing in the world because she doesn't have to get out of bed to adjust the thermostat.
But wait, if she's on the internet, she could use her iPhone.
This is the equipment interface module that you can use with the VisionPRO. You got the rig,
You got the zoning receiver relay.
and you've got an indoor wireless remote sensor, which, as you recall, if you're using with the VisionPRO, it does both temperature and humidity. And then finally, you've got the wireless fan booster remote that allows you to. How does this work exactly?
If you wire this into your fans for a ventilation and you want to hit a boost, you can turn that on and it'll turn your fans on for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. It'll control your bathroom fans. Okay? Now, if you add this all up, there's about $800 worth of stuff in there.
Yeah. If you didn't ask a question, it's a good time to ask a question because we can give you some popcorn or we've got some peanuts or we've got some cookies left, so make sure you grab a box of
We had a
those.
baseball game,
And,
popcorn, peanuts.
That's right. And if on your way out, it's one per company, so you should have only paid the $149 once. So every company will get one of these, so you guys get to fight if there's a couple of you from the same company. And with that, I think we're done. I want to thank Tom for giving up his coming out and running us through everything again. We'll be sticking around if anybody's got any questions. All this is in stock if you do need it. If you're interested in learning more about imprinting or the Contractor Pro program where you get the $25 off on the rig, just let me know, or we've got some of our other team members here. We'd love to help get you all set up. And Tom will be sticking around for a little bit if you've got any questions.
But remember, when you're putting this on the wall, ask them, would you like an outdoor sensor?
Absolutely.
What the heck do you have to lose? Right? Or Would you like to have a remote indoor sensor in the bedroom where it's warmer? What do you got to lose? All you're going to do is say yes or no.
One other quick thing Christy just reminded me, we do have the, Tom mentioned it, the connected service agreement. If you want an outline of what we put together, give you an idea how you might put your connected service agreement together, we can get you a copy of that. We also have a what we call our thermostat matrix. It just outlines all the different thermostats, so you kind of get a feel for what features there are. If anybody wants a copy of that, let us know and we can email that to you as well. So just see one of us with the Jackson System shirts on, and we would love to help. So make sure you grab your kit.
Thanks for coming.